Hi, everybody. Hi, how are you today? It's LED, your in-house rapper, poet, lyricist, songwriter, singer, producer extraordinaire. And I just want to take a moment to extend a little bit of gratitude. Not a little bit. I want to take a moment to extend to you all the gratitude that you deserved and just thank you for being here in this space with me today. If it is your first time, I want to extend gratitude to you as well and just welcome you to the tribe, to the friendhood, to the family, welcome you to the neighborhood. If this is not your first time here, welcome home. Oh, that just rolled off my tongue, and I really like it. I like the idea of this channel being a home for all of us. Um, that being said, I'm going to encourage you to subscribe, like, and leave a comment below so we can have a little bit of communication between the two of us. I'm just going to take a moment to segment really quickly because that just really resonated with me. The idea of this channel being a home, because we're in the studio today, a space that I like to call the safe space. That when I think of a safe space, I think of a space that um, lets the inner child be free to create, be lightweighted, be relieved from the stress of life, of all the things that keep dim our light. And it's a space that's safe for a child to imagine. That being said, I just noticed my own voice drop several decibels because loudness is triggering. In my family, we yell a lot. We yell a lot. Like my mom would come in at home, coming from working many, many jobs to keep us fed. I'm extending gratitude to her for that as well. I'm not negating anything that she has done for me or for us. And the way that she would express her stress and express her um, inner turmoil or outer turmoil was with yelling and with aggression. And so for me, a safe space for me would be a space with no yelling, with no aggression, with mellow-toned voice. And not saying that we can't be expressive, because I can be expressive and be in this tone and be very engaged. But for me, that creates a wholesome environment to make my inner child feel safe, safe. So that brings me back to what the safe space is and why I believe you should comment below about what you think a safe space is or what's a safe space to you. Um, for me, it'd be a space that's quiet. So I just want to thank you for coming to this week's episode of The Breakdown, where your host, LED, Love, Empowerment, and Dreamwork, breaks down her own lyrics. Look at me talking to myself about myself in the third person. Where your host, LED, myself, I break down my own lyrics and lyrics of the people that inspire me. Now, in this week's episode of The Breakdown, we will be breaking down Stormzy's Give It to the Water. Oh, this song has been a tremendous emotional release. Music is open to interpretation. So when we share what we receive, we create a space that's more open for each of us to feel safe. A space that has all of our voices feeling heard and understood and cared for. So I believe this song, Give It to the Water, really talks about the importance of letting things go. I'm just gonna sing a little bit of the words for you now. Um, the part that I think it's really important to highlight. Oh, y'all, if I tell you that was such a release, that song has just been bringing me so much peace in a place of turmoil recently. What I think this song is really telling us is the importance of letting spirit flow and letting energy flow. One of the things when we hold on to moments and instead of being present and letting that moment stand on its own, we block our energy transfer and we block the movement and energy and flow of life. And the flow of life is growth. Okay, the first couple lines. This water keeps me floating when I'm straight. This water is gonna tell me it's okay. It's flowing and it's showing me the way. Let it fill up the space. Okay. If you imagine our relationship with the divine and with creator and with source as a sea of water and an everlasting, endless, refillable ocean of creativity, of light, of source, of anything, everything that breathes life and gives life and is life. And imagine that you have unlimited access as long as you choose to access that source, and it's consistently pouring into you. And when you're in perfect alignment with source and with creator, you would be at your most divine. You'd be at your most present and at your most whole. Now, just imagine that there's a dam at each one of these chakra points of negativity that holds you back and keeps you from being aligned with source and being connected to source. What this line puts in my head is the imagery of each one of those dams being unblocked and the water flowing. It's flowing and it's showing me the way. The way is alignment. The way is connection to source. The way is connection to the divine. And as we remove these blocks in our lives, we let the water flow. And when we let the water flow, the path is being illuminated for us. It's flowing and it's showing me the way. That's what that line makes me think of. And let it fill up the space. Let that light that comes from being connected to the source, let that light that comes from being connected to divine flow and fill up the space that is body, mind, soul, and spirit. Let it flow and fill up the space. And as it fills up the space, let it overflow. Let it overflow to those around us, to neighborhood, to tribe, to family, to friend, and to loved one. The next line, the water's going to wash away the pain. Sometimes pain is what holds us back from shining and from being divine. We hold on to pains such as anxiety, grief, those things, and they block us from being, from living, from being life, from being. In this line, the water is going to wash away the pain if we let the force and the power of being connected to divine influence the decision to remove this pain, remove these blocks. Then as that connection grows and as it flows and as we come into alignment, those pains are simply just going to wash away. Just going to wash them away because we refuse to keep holding on to them. That's what I believe. That's what I believe. Choosing to always be connected to the divine is refusing to hold on to pain, to hold on to negativity. And one thing I really want to do as LED is shed light on the pains that we don't even know are holding us back, or we don't even know our pains. I'm pretty sure I would like to believe that most people wouldn't. Well, most people who don't have anxiety wouldn't think of it as pain. But my anxiety puts my body in actual physical pain. My shoulders tighten up and hurt. My you see that crack actually comes from partially the weight of anxiety on my shoulders, because it's consistently forcing me to either draw down or draw up my shoulders, keep my body in a state of tension. And one of the things I really want to do is LED. And as I become LED, is shed light on how things weigh us down and stop us from just glowing and shining in our divinity. Next line. I hear it when it's calling out my name. I hear it when it's calling out my name. This makes me think of how spirit, Holy Spirit, if you want to think of it, because there's spirit in you, but then there's spirit in all things, and we live and dwell in spirit while being present in body. We live and dwell in spirit. Like when we say the spirit in this room, the presence in this room, when they say the Holy Spirit was amongst them, it can be an overwhelming presence, but it's an all-consuming presence. So when I see and I hear it when it's calling out my name. I think of how spirit and the divine call out to you. When we choose to embark on a relationship with divinity and with spirit, it's a reaching out on both hands. I want you to imagine one hand reaching out and another hand reaching for you and grabbing onto you. It's a relationship. As we call out to spirit and to divine, they call back to us. They call back to us and they reach out. So I hear it when it's calling out my name. I can almost picture that interaction of spirit calling out to me, If it helps you picture it, picture your mom calling out to you in a loving way. Like let's say you're somewhere on the other side of the house and you just hear mom calling, Al, hey Al, hey Al. That's such a beautiful image to me. And it fills me up with feelings of being wanted, of being loved, of being embraced. But it's running and it's flooding through my veins. Let it fill up the place. It's running and it's flooding through my veins. Let it fill up the space. In that image, I just think of that ever refilling chasm of love that is source and divine, just like breaking through the barriers of the mind, of our blocks, of our dams that are keeping energy and light from flowing through us and love from flowing through us. I just think of that dam breaking and that love. LOL. See, body had to emphasize how that would feel, the release of that breaking and letting love flow through. It's a beautiful image. It's a beautiful image of the connection of to source. And once we choose to access and choose to have that relationship with source and with divine, that at that point we can't seem to control the amount of love that just flows through. It just flows through and fills up the space. And that's one of the things that I would like to do here at the breakdown, is let love fill up the space. Let love fill up the space. When looking at the lyrics of my own lyrics and the lyrics of people that have inspired me, it takes a huge aspect of love to seek understanding. It takes a huge aspect of love for oneself and for others to seek understanding. Here at the breakdown,